Alright, I'm just gonna record. Okay, so I made a vlog. My last vlog recently that I did was commenting on uh Heather's vlog, which she made another one about. Heather's like so awesome. Like I can't even keep up at this point. I have so many of my own thoughts. Like I said, I had my own freaking notes and stuff, and I didn't really even get much into the second page. Um, and then my friend Rob was like, "Are you gonna do another vlog and finish your thoughts?" And I was like, "I didn't know you were really into that." And then she made another vlog, and she has this her own like framework of how she's like approaching this stuff, and I'm so fascinated with it. And I'm just like, wow. I still have lots of other thoughts. I went back to watch like the last half of my previous vlog, and it's like 2 hours because I'm such a non-linear minded scatterbrain consciousness, what is it called, stream of consciousness person. This is what I used to do. I used to just, back in the day, I used to just vlog, and I just have stream of consciousness things that I would just, I don't know, spurt out missives about. And there's just so many things that are going on, so many other thoughts on my mind. And then she put out another video, and I'm just like, wow, I really need to like think even more. I have like my own framework of how I'm like talking about these things. There's also just constantly weird things happening. Just even just not like, well, there's the really weird high strangeness stuff that I have been experiencing. And then, well, especially because my friend died, and that tends to be like the bulk of it. My friend died. I'm having an experience. I'm having experiences with my friend who's dead. There was a lot of stuff I found out. I don't think. So some of the stuff is like very personal, like in a very extremely, very deeply personal way. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about talking about any of that in a vlog because it's just very personal. That and like I think his brother's still alive, and I don't want to. I don't know. I think that I don't want to bother anything with that, and yeah, so that's a thing, and I don't even know where to start with this. I would have liked to do this vlog earlier today as well as yesterday, but it just never happened, and then today was raid hour, and I had, so a lot of things that I've been working on is like dream work stuff. I know I've mentioned like in the past, like my scripting journal, my shifting journal, my script is in here, or my scripts. I have two main scripts and the original version in the beginning. And then I also have like a lot of my shifting experiences as well as some of my affirmation mantras. I have a lot of development with that. I also have come to this understanding that I have a tendency to have a default to my so-called method, which isn't exactly shifting but can shift, which is dream incubation. I'm apparently pretty good at dream incubation. And the more I have been researching other things like out of body, OBE, the other one is Silva method, which also has like projection where you're like projecting yourself elsewhere, which is basically the same thing but through the Silva method. Then there's quote unquote methods for shifting, which more and more I think explains why I kept having weird side effects, such as clicking out, which is a terminology in gateway process. I need to just finally hone like the beginning aspects of gateway process. Gateway process requires like I need to like not be distracted with like people walking around the room and making noise and chattering and certain other kinds of things. So I can't do it too late at night because part of the beginning phase of gateway process is you have to do this humming part or vocalization part, and you can't do it without it, especially if you're new at it. And so when it comes to shifting, this also gets into like, okay, so there's lucid dreaming, which is not the same thing, but you can take a lucid dream and shift and use it to shift or project. So there's a lot of these different terminologies and stuff. As I've been reassessing a lot of these things, a lot of times with shifting, they'll talk about this, the tingle or like a tingly. Other times people will have a pop or a whoosh. I have experienced the whoosh. That's more like the waking method, which is like hypnotic induction. I believe this is in the delta wave, brainwave. Although a lot of people prefer theta waves, which is generally the go-to. Silva method usually is alpha waves, but it goes into theta as you become, especially like intermediate and after, right? I think probably because that's getting into like the projecting. There isn't really a lot of video content or stuff that I can find lately about the projecting yourself somewhere. Even though in the beginning stuff, Jose Silva, he straight up is like, you can go project yourself to, I don't know, the rings of Saturn or something. Whatever it is. I feel like reality shifting was this amalgamation of people who had probably been doing different kinds of practices on their own, stumbling into things as well on their own, and it just sort of culminated into this quote-unquote spiritual, non-religious experience that was shared en masse with a lot of Gen Z and younger millennials. It just, maybe even some Gen X, but mostly it was like Gen Z and some millennials. And it just it just took off. Another one was lucid dreaming. And I think because I have been doing dream incubation technique since I was like 12, that's my default. And so it tends to just sort of utilize certain aspects of my brain functioning in my human body, and that's kind of the problem. Part of the reason why I'm having these weird like hybrid experiences where I've definitely gone into another reality, but then I'll go through this, my perception cycles through this weird dream-like aspect of it, which is more of a dream, which is in my brain, because your brain cycles through REM sleep and these other sleep states, and then I will experience that, and then I'll cycle out of that, and then I'll go more lucid, which suggests that my frontal brain is functioning. This also goes into like lucid dreams. Lucid dreaming definitively is not shifting, but you can use lucid dreams to shift. Another thing with out of body, so this to me suggests that shifting is a type of out of body experience, and it gets into like Sheldrake's like morphic field. I think why reality shifting is was not as popular with older people is because they can't understand the verbiage and the lexicon of Gen Z. Gen Z has their own language, their own way of talking, their own ideals, their own culture, their own like ethics, their own morality, their own view of good and bad, which doesn't translate necessarily well or positively to older generations who have a different culture and worldview. However, there are many people who are older, including significantly older than myself, who are thrilled with the reality shifting community. One of the things I really like about reality shifting is the fact that it shows how many things people believe are straight up fictions. And it's funny because the so-called spiritual communities will talk about themselves or like things like ego death, or like their self-identity as a fiction, but then they'll never question like the beliefs that they have of gods and spirits and whatever, as though those identities are real and not fictions. Like this gets so many layers deep, so many layers deep. Yeah. I had a near-death experience. I've had many out-of-body experiences, and there's so many different kinds of those. There's not just like one category for an out-of-body experience, and I have a tendency to view reality shifting as a type of OBE, or out-of-body experience, because you're moving your consciousness elsewhere, which you could also create. I think it speaks volumes about the power of the actual mind of the souls in human bodies are way more able to do things but don't know that they are. This is another one of these like super fascinating things to me. So I think, and this is something because I'm always pondering things, I'm always thinking about things. I do many kinds of meditation, so the traditional meaning in the Greek Western view of meditation, which is where the word comes from, it means to ponder something, and this is what I do like a lot. I'm always thinking and rethinking and assessing and analyzing, and it's just always doing it. It's just, and that's my friend. Oh God, why now? Why right now? Of all the things right now. Not now. Dude, seriously, not right now. Not right now. I need to go back and rewatch this is like more homework. I've just given myself more homework. I need to go back, watch her video, watch my video, because now I'm like disconnected between like a lot of my notes here, and I was on track when I made that video, but I cut, and then I couldn't go any further with it. We had Thanksgiving. I also hit, here, let's do this. Cut. I hit level 73 in Pokemon Go. That also happened. So right here, I hit level 73. Yay me. You can too if you want to. And also, in my other video, I made sure. Alright, we're just gonna pause it. I put a lot of links, references, whatever. Oh, YouTube's system is quite different now. They don't even show the actual URL anymore. I put some of my old vlogs that I mentioned in that video if you wanted to reference it. I know I did a video on where I was talking about like Rene Descartes or whatever, but I can't find that specific one. I did, however, find this one, this one, this one, and this one. And none of these are also the documentaries I mentioned in that video. Heather has put out another video though. Here we go. Okay, I also noticed my friend Hope was watching. And I thought, hey Hope, I love you. Kind of want to come on stream with me? It'd be weird. Okay, so Heather is probably like my top favorite, honestly. Her stuff is more like, she doesn't have a ton of subscribers, which is kind of the cool thing about it, because like I think most of the people in here like sort of know each other or know of each other or whatever. And then of course, and then there's Harold. He's another one. I like his stuff too. So she just put out a new thing. Her main focus was like these Tauros. This one reminds me of like Robert Monroe's like bubble that he in the gateway process exercises, and so she put out this one too. Like her work is so good, and I really hope that Heather, I really hope you put out a book or something, or a Substack or whatever, because I will go there and I will follow your Substack. Like, your freaking work is so good. Like, I'm just like, wow. Okay, so there's that, and then what is Harold? Let's go end of Ag. Actually, I don't even know if I watched when Heather was on. Wasn't it Agnoia? Yeah, end of Agnoia. Okay, so this is I think his name's Harold. This guy is so cool. Mark interviewed him years ago, like, I don't know, was it 4 years ago? It was a while ago. He yeah, I need to watch. This is the one with Heather. I need to watch this because I don't remember watching it because there's always like a ton of things going on. He's one of those unusual individuals who has like pre-birth memories, and Mark wanted to interview him, and he was very honest and talking about his stuff, and that was really cool. That was really, really cool. Okay, I need to go on here when Heather was on here. All right, I will definitely be looking that up. I give myself freaking homework all the time. Freaking homework. There's no credits. We're not earning any credits here. But Harold is super cool. A lot of times people his views are going way up there. And then there's Mark. So Forever Conscious Research. He actually has several channels to hedge his, in case he gets taken down or whatever. And I also sit on his gaming. No, this isn't the gaming channel. He has gaming channels which usually have stuff to do with reality soul trap stuff. I think I've probably watched every single video of his that's not the members only. And so I think it's the live stuff. He's very alternative. He's super alternative. Does not conform to the views of most people for a lot of stuff. Like, he's not a round earth, flat earth person, whatever that means. And he actually showed me all kinds of really interesting videos, like things that I thought were kooky, crazy, like conspiracy things. He would show me these, like there was like a Beatles one, there was an Elvis one, there was a Lady Gaga one, and like I saw it and I was like, what? So yeah, I like Mark because if I have a view or a perception or opinion, he'll poke holes in it and be like, oh yeah, what about this, and what about that, and I'm like, oh yeah. So I spent years going through his stuff. I think I've probably watched every video you could possibly watch without paying for it, especially on the YouTube stuff. The Michael Newton. So the best stuff is especially like the Michael Newton stuff, Robert Monroe. It's the typical kinds of the things that are now, I guess, typical probably because of him. And another one is Dan from Overwatch Project. Dan from Overwatch Project is not a PC political correct guy. He's got his own way of talking. Overwatch Project. He has a website as well. Dan is also like one of my favorites to watch. It's important that we're not all copacetic. Like, we all have differing views and opinions, and I think that's a really good thing. And this is the Overwatch Project. So, that's Dan's channel. He has a website also. He has so much stuff that he does. He's literally a detective. Like, he's a real life actual detective. I like the way he approaches a topic. I like the way he can, like, examine. He's very much a detective. What can I say? There's a number of persons in this sort of community that have this sort of detective mindset, like taking on a mystery, taking on something. And he oftentimes will show his notes in the his notes or his certain whatever his resources and his site, all of these a lot of times in his stuff. So what else? Oh yeah, there's we had, Thanksgiving. I live in the United States, and it's kind of weird how certain trends for things have just taken off outside of the United States. Like, we have Thanksgiving, it's a holiday at the end of November, right? So we have certain sales patterns and pitches and whatever, which everything has gone to the internet. And it was like, I had Black Friday emails since September. It's dumb. Okay, there was Cyber Monday, except it was no, it's Cyber Week, as well as the week before. Everything is Black Friday and and Cyber Monday and Cyber Week, even though that's over, or it hasn't even happened yet. And my email was just a never-ending notification cascade of just, here's a sale, here's the deal. The things I would have actually liked to probably get a good bargain on, never got those, because those ones went into my spam, because of course. And what is it that I'm kind of a thing that I'm into? Well, right now I'm kind of very much into the Harry Potter fandom. And I have actually I'm in the fan club email and the Harry Potter store email. Also, I don't know why any of the candy is not on sale. But what was it? Last chance. This was. Yeah, I don't even know if this is gonna work. Is it gonna work? Actually, it did. Oh, but the sales are not. Well, some of it is. This is a sale. I don't know if well, $10. It's fine. Is it the Chicago? No, that's the New York one. This is the thing that pissed me off. So a lot of these are the wands, officially licensed wands, the Noble collection from, I think majority of these are from the Fantastic Beasts films, right? $10 for $40 wands, and they sold out. I didn't even know about it until after it all sold out, and I don't think, where's my email? And so there's no candy in here. I don't know why the candy isn't, where is it? Sweets and treats. Well, and same thing, butterbeers, which apparently have gone down in price. A 4-pack is $18. This is $12 and this is $7. This, a month ago was like $30, $34. Okay, so that's different. Even that, like $18. So, I do want to eventually go to the Harry Potter store, like in New York, the official one, or the Universal Studios. I would love to go to Universal Studios. And, my big thing for Thanksgiving, which started before Thanksgiving, was butterbeer. Okay, butterbeer. You can find recipes and you can make your own. There's also the knockoff version on Amazon, which is just a butterscotch soda, which everyone says is very similar. And that was over 20 something dollars. It's the knockoff version. It still has like let me see if I can find it. I go to Amazon, which I'm still banned. I'm still banned on there since 2018. Butterbeer. Here we go. Flying Cauldron Butterscotch. Oh! See, here we go. This one shot up to $30, but this one apparently went down. I don't know. Oh, this is new. This was not here last week. I guess ever since I decided to do butterbeers for Thanksgiving, I bought it earlier, significantly earlier, like in the middle of the month. And I told my daughter, I was like, I'm making butterbeer. And I was like, I don't know if you're into that or whatever. She was so into that that we started having it early. Oh my god, just do they? No, that's root beer. I was like, oh my god, does Liquid Death make butterbeer? Or butterscotch? Apparently not. Apparently not. Um, so we have some competitive marketing, I guess, because maybe these are not selling very well because the price is insane. Um, $18 maybe I might buy. This is kind of, it's not even alcoholic. $18, it's not even alcoholic. Non-alcoholic. Um, the pri- why are these not on sale for? Why wasn't that this? Why didn't these have a Black Friday sale? I'm sure it's delicious chocolate. I just don't think it's $12 level. And same thing this one. Like I think this is probably good, but I don't know. I don't know if I like these prices. And the reason why I say that is because it's not Lind. Let's go to Lind. Okay, so I love chocolate very much, and chocolate that's worth blowing your cash on is always Lind. And if you look at the prices on this stuff, oh look, that one's on sale. It's always worth the price. It's always worth the price, especially at Christmas time. Um, like this one. This is a limited edition for Christmas. It sells out very, very quickly. Looks like the price went down since yesterday, but $11, $11 for this. And I would say, oh, this one is what? It's hot cocoa. That's different. That's different. I don't recall this version. Um, so for me, here's another one. Milk, hot cocoa milk chocolate. For me, if you're going to spend a lot of money on chocolate, it has to be worth the price. And Lind is worth the price. But I gotta be honest, the stuff that they sell here in the United States is not the original kind. And the German, because they're German, I think it's Swiss. But like in Germany, they think it's from Germany. I don't know where, whatever it is. Who knows? Um, They have the best fucking chocolate ever. They also have stuff that they don't sell. Like, they have a Dubai version now that I can't get here in the United States. How much is that? How much is that? Um, how much is that? Can we go? Can we go? Is it working? My god, it's insanely expensive. It's probably fantastic. Oh my god. It's like 10 euros. It's probably insanely good though. I die. I die. The really good stuff. Here we go. Weihnachtsartikel. Can we go? Can we go, please? My favorite freaking chocolate ever of all time is their like Weihnachtsschokolade or Christmas chocolate. It's like freaking heaven. I don't, where the heck is it? You know what? Let me see if I can. Where did it go? I saw it the other day. The Now edition. Okay, that's that's one way of putting it. It's like this. It's like a candy bar. It's this huge candy bar, and it has like the filling in it. It's basically a candy bar of truffles, and the filling in it has this like spiced filling. It's definitely has cinnamon in it, and you can't. I've only been able to get it in the Bush era in the Braintree Mall or South Shore Plaza, uh, which doesn't exist anymore. That one doesn't exist anymore, and then now they don't even sell it anymore. I know it. Oh, Weihnachten. Ja, bitte. Are we there? Where's the... Oh, they have a version of it with rum. What? Rum punch, Weihnachtsschokolade, rum punch. Oh, good grief. I wonder if just the regular Weihnachtsschokolade... Oh, here it is. This is it? No, this is the one with nuts. Oh my god, you're killing me, you're killing me. So this is the rum punch version. Oh my god. Yeah, see, cinnamon. This is literally the best ever fucking chocolate you could ever get, want, or have, or experience ever. There is nothing better, ever. There isn't. It doesn't exist. There's nothing better than Weihnachtsschokolade. I die. Yeah, it's basically a candy bar with all the chocolates put together into the candy bar, and you can break them off piece by piece, and it's a truffle. It's so expensive. What, is this the actual price? It's like 45 euros. What? It's 45 euros? Are you fucking kidding me? It might actually have rum in it, like actual rum, like you can get drunk on. Okay, so let's be clear. Even though these look good and all, the price, if I'm gonna order something online versus Lind, not the same thing. Definitely not the same thing. I haven't bought a single thing though. I didn't buy anything. I was just looking. Anyway, other than that, I had a lot of very interesting meditation experiences. I've had a lot of just weird, very high strangeness experiences. And a lot of very interesting like insights on stuff, including my past. I have a very weird experience of there's stuff from like the 20 teens that I don't remember, that apparently I wrote down in different journals and stuff, in paper journals. I'm glad I did that. It was funny because it was like at the time I had this seeming paranoia, like I didn't want to write all my thoughts into my live journal, even though I was writing certain things on Facebook. And I was also, a main reason why I was on Facebook, well, it was because a lot of people that I'm connected to, that I'm friends with, that I'm related to, or in various other reasons, arts, culture, whatever, was on Facebook. But then it was like, certain things, I guess, was not okay or taboo to talk about. And there, at the time, I feel like there was a lot of bad things going on in the furry community, and I didn't want to be a part of it. And then I was just trying out like different ideas, different views, different stuff, and it's funny because there's so many people that I was friends with who either unfriended me or attacked me or whatever. And there was stuff about Facebook that kind of would make everybody like fight each other, and it was apparently it came out that it was designed to make people fight, and I just didn't want to. I was just like, I don't like fighting the people I love anymore. I don't think this is right. I think that there's so many like problems with it, and I hated it. And the main reason that I would mostly be on there after a while was because of David. But even he would come and go. He would delete and then return, or he would block me and unblock me. I understand a lot of it now. I didn't understand it. There's times I just was like, he's moody sometimes, like, what the hell? But I went through a lot of my emails, and to anybody who doesn't believe me that I actually knew this person, I definitely knew this person. And I made a folder of a lot of stuff that apparently still had in my email going back a long time. This person was highly significant to me and meant like the world to me. And I've had a lot of very interesting experiences meditating, all kinds of meditation. I even would get stoned and meditate. I don't always get stoned and meditate though. That's very interesting though. I've had also a lot of experiences with him. He affects matter. He can affect things in my reality. Also, I learned a lot of things about myself. He helped me to learn things about myself that I didn't know. Like when I dream, I'm apparently like very snobby. I'm really snobby. I also lull very easily. There's also like these weird constraints on me. I've been like working on comprehending that. I don't like it. I don't like it anymore. Although I think some of them make sense as to why they're there, whereas others don't. I also had this very interesting experience of like escaping time. Another thing I'm having experiences with sounds freaking mental, like it's bonkers. Is this feeling like a Braxis experience? And I'm not just talking like the album by Santana. I'm talking like this freaking Gnostic concept. Yeah, so that's a thing. And I oftentimes have this experience in connection with David. It is so real, and it is so weird and so interesting. I also find that, and this is kind of a thing that's been going on my whole life, just maybe not as a little kid. At some point, by the time I was probably like, I don't know, at least 12 years old or whatever, I got this book about like dream stuff, and they were talking about like what to do if you had nightmares, and that you could fight back, and tips and stuff like that. And I actually took that to heart. And then whenever I had a bad guy in my dream or a bully or whatever, I had programmed myself to fight back, right? And these beings or these dream characters or dream mannequins or whatever would present me with pretty fucked up scenarios. I feel like when I was like in high school, because I started to fight back, and I wasn't afraid of monsters or demons or whatever, bad guys in my dream, and I would fight back. And so by the time I was in high school, the bad guys turned into like minority people, and I was afraid to fight back because I was afraid that I would be accused of being like a racist, which is weird because I was like, that was in the 90s, and that was a real fear that I had. But so these people were kidnapping me and putting me in cars and taking me places in these dreams, and they would all be like minorities with darker skin, and I was scared to do anything because I was afraid of being labeled a racist or whatever. But then at one point I was in the dream, and then I thought, why am I afraid to fight back if they're being bad to me and they're hurting me and they've kidnapped me and put me in this car. And like I was going through this rational process in my head, and then I thought, no, I should just fight back. And then I just psyched myself up in the dream, and I was like, well, if they do any of these things, I'll do these things. And then I came up with a plan to get out, to fight back, and to like run away. And it worked, and then I got out of it, and then I never had to deal with those punks ever, those bad guys ever again. They just weren't there anymore. And after that, this was also like around the time where I was kind of like learning about like yin and yang and how Western stuff is, they think of black or dark as evil when it's not. And I was starting to get into these concepts which were starting to become pretty popular, like black unicorns. And so like, here's one. This one's Terry Brooks. And then I have another one by Tina Lee, which is not here. It's somewhere else. And I felt like I could easily identify with this concept. Also, in the yin and yang, the yin is the black part. And so for a long time, I was more identifying with a black unicorn. Until this century, I was like, no, I cannot be a prey animal like totem. And I more identified with like a griffin, like a meat eater or a dragon. And I very much gravitated in my later teens and my early like 20s with like wolves and dragons and things like that. Things that eat meat. I'm a flesh eater. Because you can't mess with us, right? And I also kept experiencing like a lot of these sort of hybridization of forms. So like the griffin, right? But then like my griffin persona could like morph or shapeshift into other things. And when I was in my 20s, when I was like out of body stuff, which was like way more like new age, I would just I was doing some of these shape-shifted forms in the astral, doing things I wouldn't do today. Like I wouldn't go around finding lost souls and help them to quote unquote cross over, because I feel like that would just force them to get reincarnated, and I would never do that today at all, ever. I would never do that today. But I didn't know any better, and I had bad experiences. I had experienced a lot of deception with things that are like light beings or angelic-y beings, and just very deceptive experiences, and it ruined my life. It totally ruined my life. And I thought that I made the very naive mistake of believing and falling for this idea that if somebody wrote a book, that they were an expert or they knew what they were talking about. If someone acted like they knew what they were talking about, I also would just think that they must know what they're talking about. But there is such a thing as a bullshit artist or a con man. Con artist. The con artistry, that's a thing. So, yeah, so my life is just, I mostly was doing a lot of dream work stuff, but I put it on hold, not only during Go Wild area in Pokemon Go, which was in the middle of the month, but the week before Thanksgiving itself, and I'm just kind of now going back. I think I was very much like reassessing things, and reflecting, which I think is a very healthy thing to do. And Heather's stuff, I'm just like, I don't exactly know what to do with it, but I'm just like, wow, all the time. Like, she's amazing. She's like, that's my word for Heather. She's awesome and she's amazing. And wow. I don't know what else to say. She's just, it's very smart. She's very creative. She's very insightful. I can't think of anything wrong or bad about her. She's just really good. Oh, here's another thing. Let me just, I would like to look more into telepathy tape stuff. It's very popular right now. There is apparently some kind of weird backlash thing at the moment. I'm not aware of it, but it's incredibly popular. It beat Joe Rogan in podcasting. I think I'll just mention my friend Rob. Rob is literally targeted. Okay, so the whole targeted individuals thing is actually a thing. Like, it's actually a thing. I've experienced it for years. I just didn't know it. There's the Susie Dawson stuff. I should probably show the Susie Dawson stuff, but I'll show Rob's channel. Rob is my friend. I don't know how to like explain it. He just started talking to me on Mark's channel, and Rob is generally in a lot of the communities which are connected to each other. He's known as the guy with the golden heart. He's a really sweet person, and he interviews and interacts with a lot of people. There's very much a community here. It's not like, so his original channel was just deleted and taken down for no reason. He never broke any laws or whatever. And then another thing was Renetta Jones. Renetta was one of my favorite guests on there. She has some wild out there ideas sometimes. But then she proved stuff that she had. There's the implant thing. She proved that. She proved these things. And not long after, she died. She mysteriously died. Now I was following a lot of Howdy McCoskey's work. Howdy McCoskey is a mixed bag of whatever. He's very interesting, he's very insightful, he's written a bunch of books. Oh, he has a new video out. He went off onto Locals, which is basically everything is stuck behind a paywall, although apparently he's put up some stuff on here, which he said he wasn't going to do anymore. I do like his certain things for thinking, but he had this thing where he was so fixated on Carlos Castaneda, anything and everything. So, I think this was like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I was trying to sit through a lot of Castaneda books, like audiobooks and stuff. And I was like, why does he idolize this guy's work so much, right? Because I'm like, what is it? Because so Carlos Castaneda was this very popular, like, guru type, like in the hippie days. And his guru was this guy named Don Juan. And he was always, Don Juan is like this great or whatever. But then in the stories, it's always these stories of Don Juan being a prick to him and being a really shitty teacher. Like, he's so bad at teaching. He's terrible at teaching. And he would like hide behind the guise of being a teacher so that he could bully him. And I'm more of a Richard Feynman style, like Feynman technique, and you don't do that. Okay, another thing is Maxwell Maltz psychocybernetics. You don't abuse people and then expect them to learn. But this guy, Don Juan, had this very, like, 1930s mentality, like the rugged individualism crap. I hate it so much. I hate it so much that there's times where, like, I just couldn't sit through all the books because there was other things going on that were more interesting at the time, and I just never picked it back up. Like, I started listening to Brave New World audiobook, the novel, which I still haven't finished. I listened to the radio show version, which was like an hour or whatever from like the 1940s? Was it the 40s? I think it was the 40s. And then I went to try and listen to the audiobook of Brave New World, which is a fascinating concept, very fascinating concept. If you've ever seen a very almost porn, soft porn Hollywood movie from the 70s called Logan's Run. Logan's Run is very similar to Brave New World. It's weird. It's except it's very 70s soft porn Hollywood. Anyway, oh boy. I was very like active and participating in a lot of stuff in Howdy's videos. But he's kind of, ever since I don't know, I don't want to like shame him or whatever for, I don't know, going to locals. I don't like that he put everything behind a paywall. You know, maybe he's a libertarian. I don't like libertarians, and I don't like libertarianism, but I don't want to like cancel Howdy McCoskey because he put shit behind a paywall. But like he supposedly left it open so that like if you're a free user you could still access certain things, but it's never really gone there. Like you can't really leave a comment, and you can't give your opinion unless you pay to, and then you can't even watch all the videos. Some of them usually you can watch, but not always. And I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't really care for this. Like, this hasn't gone in a direction I like. Also, he was like a ice hockey coach or whatever, so he has this kind of, like, I don't want to call him like a macho guy, but he has this sort of veering into this macho thing, if you gotta keep up kind of thing, and it doesn't gel with me, but like, whatever. I'm not gonna trying to like wag my finger at the guy and be like, you naughty damn kids, behave, or whatever. I think he's older than me, actually. So whatever. It's weird, the kinds of things that show up in my feed. I watched Stranger Things when this for Thanksgiving or whatever, when like a day or so after it came out, and now everything in my feed is Stranger Things, including stuff I think I've definitely watched this one. I don't know why it doesn't show that I have, but I think I've definitely watched these things. I've also been usually very interested in the Harry Potter, the HBO Harry Potter reboot series or whatever, which actually takes place in the 90s, like in the book. Well, some parts are in the 80s, because when, you know, Harry's born, it's the 80s. I've just been so gleefully interested in that. I worked on films, and that's just been interesting. This is not like a very insightful video, I guess. But there's so many things I wanted to do, and I just couldn't do it, or the timing wasn't right. And I have my old notes on Heather, but she just put out another video, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't even know where to go now, what to do with any of this stuff. I don't know what to do with any of this stuff. This is, yeah, okay. It's a lot. It's a lot. She's on to something. She's on to, like, some kind of breakthrough concepts and stuff. It reminds me of, like, the ancient philosophers and the pre-Socratics and stuff like that. It's kind of, like, part of the fascination for me with it. So I guess I'm just gonna end it here, because I have all these like thoughts or whatever in my mind. I did watch the because I'm a traditional animator. Aaron Blaise had a film that came out. There we go. He had a film that came out. So he's very talented. It's very, it reminds me of kind of like the style like Don Bluth, kind of. Like, it's very, very emotional, very emo, and very exaggerated. This is kind of thing, like with traditional old school animation, like that's normal. But it's really long. for being an animated short, and he put a lot into this. He put so much into this film and so much effort, and the story itself is just like, it's not an in-depth story. It's simple. It's very emotive. It's very, like, there's a lot of tone and feeling. I think it's an animator thing, because I do that too. But like, he so went for it and so did it. But basically, it's just this bear, this polar bear who is lonely, and that's the story. That's it. That's the story. And so he did this for 11 minutes about how sad and pathetic and lonely this poor bear is. It's beautiful though. It's a beautiful film. He's very amazing animator, very talented, really good. It's a very simple, basic story. So I guess if you just, you wanted to make a story and make it happen, keep it basic, keep it simple, but 11 something minutes, like, it goes, I mean, it's for a animated short, it's pretty long. I mean, so everybody's, I guess, geeking out over it. I want to bring up, this was like really old school, Lady Ice. Super old, and this is before Frozen, way before Frozen. I think this is the film right here. This was this person's, just gonna, really interesting, I'm not gonna, I don't want to get in trouble, but this person's work, I thought this person's work was really good, but, Disney wouldn't even, like, hire them, wouldn't even, like, look at their portfolio or whatever. It was just sad. And, I thought their work was pretty good, actually. This is, like, it's, like, way back in the day, like, what, the 2000s. And, that's the person right there. And, I think she might be from Israel, I'm not sure. But her work is fantastic. This was way before Frozen. Way before. So, conspiracy theory, maybe? So there's that. Anyway, I do also like, okay, so this, so the shadow, I don't know if it's AI or if it's like a hybrid of like actual music composing, or with AI, or if it's a hybrid of that or whatever. It oftentimes, so this is the person who is listed as by name. Otherwise, it's just, the shadow, right? And I've had a lot of very interesting experiences. Okay, so back to my interactions with my friend who passed away. He's just always with me. I could talk a lot about this. There's some stuff I don't know if I'm comfortable talking about, because it's very personal. But if I'm very, like, emotional, his response to me is very quick. And this is kind of like how I found this channel. When I experience my friends in my dream, he'll, like, change what he looks like a lot. He doesn't always look like, well, this is what he looked like before he died. This is, I think people in the Facebook days probably know him like this. He looked more like this before he passed away. Although he lost a lot of weight. Let me see, do I have... These are some of the photos of him, like, before he died. He would get moody and he'd block me and unblock me and unfriend me or whatever. But like there was like this thing between us. Like he was definitely my friend. If he had asked me to like I don't know go off and do some weird thing, I'd figure out a way to do it. This is one of my favorite. Because he loved books. He loved reading. So this is him when he was younger. And this is another one. What the heck? So whatever. And this is him getting his very admired tattoo, which I've been spending a lot of time trying to figure out what this is, what these things mean. And I think I'm much closer to figuring it out at this point. I don't know if I want to talk about that though. Because this stuff is like jarring. At this point, I'm getting to like Abraxas level weird, like Gnostic weird, like weird, like it's weird. But like I was talking about before with my dreams, in my dreams I would have these experiences of like, I would see monsters. Like, okay, so when I was a little child, when I would have scary like nightmares and stuff, I would have these dreams that these like big monsters and like scary beasts and things were out to like eat me and attack me and whatever. I was super little. And then when I would wake up, I was very confused because when I was a little baby, toddler, or whatever, I didn't understand that a dream isn't supposed to be real. Well, at least that's what we tell ourselves, that they're not real, right? And then I was so convinced that there were monsters out in the world, and it was like I was so sure that they were there, and then I would even have these dreams about monsters. Right, and it's kind of weird. It's almost like the Ice Age or something. And my mom, I asked my mom, I was like, what happened to all the monsters? Like, where did they go? Where are they? And my mom must have been like 2 or 3 years old, and she was like, oh, there's no monsters. Daddy killed them all. And but by the time I was a teenager and after I had these dreams where I fought back with these like bad people or these attackers or whatever, I'd have these like nightmares with these bad people like attacking me or messing with me or whatever. Once I learned to fight back, those dreams just went away. But then when I was having dreams, I would have dreams and there would be like these monsters, but they were not scary to me. There was these huge like beasts and like god-like beasts and stuff, like almost like legendary Pokemon or some kind of beast of yore. And I would just like especially like Chinese gods or whatever, like I don't know, like when you go to China, you see these like gargoyle looking things, right? These sort of gargoyle looking beasts and whatever, like that would look like demons or whatever. But I would be like standing there and this beastie looking thing would be there, and I would just like not be scared, and I would just be like, oh hey, how's it going? Because it didn't seem scary to me in my dreams. I was just like, how's it going, how you doing? And I would have these like communications with these very beast looking things. But I also had dreams where I was with regular people and this like beast, like these beast beings, like it could have been a dragon or a griffin or a Chinese gargoyle or whatever, and the other people would freak out and leave, and then the being would be like, how come you're not scared? And I'm like, oh, was I supposed to be? I had a lot of kinds of very interesting, weird dreams like that too. So now that my friend David has passed, it's like that. It's like weird like that, but weirder. And but it's like Abraxas weird. like weird. Like being so massive, I don't even know how to explain the scale of how massive it is. It's just like insanely large. And looking at this being like its eye, and this interaction, because it's like, I see you and I want you to know that I see you, and I can't like unsee it. It's like, and don't know how to explain it, especially when this being like pulls me out of a dream, like I'm having a dream, and it's like, yeah, you're not gonna have that dream now. I'm pulling you out of it, and you're gonna like look at me, and now I'm gonna show you something. Yeah. So, David had a lot of very weird, high strangeness experiences himself, as well as with his brother, his parents, and as well as on his own. The stuff that he would never talk about publicly was the stuff that he experienced alone, which he didn't view as credible enough. However, by the end of his life, I guess kind of like me, he just kind of stopped denying it and stopped fighting it, and kind of went with it. So I don't know if he's like helping me do this or whatever. I didn't ask for this. I don't think I did I? But he, in this video here, he does discuss some of these things, and there's this term, mysterious tremendum. Here, let me, I think I have vocabulary. I've been trying to work on expanding my vocabulary because I used to be like, actually I still am, in general, I'm like the person who has like the big, broad vocabulary in English especially. But then I started to notice that everyone's using my vocabulary now. So then I was like, okay, I need to expand my vocabulary. So, Mysterium tremendum, Mysterium fascinosum, and then numinous. So the Mysterium tremendum, or terrible mystery, the experience that's like shocking and jarring and terrifying and whatever, I don't really have the scary aspect. I don't feel the fear, the terribleness, the any of that. Then there's the mysterious fascinosum, a sense of something fascinating, desirable, good, caring, comforting, which invites us into a fullness, fulfills us, and in doing so produces unique kind of spiritual joy, bliss. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's a thing. And then there's like the numinous, which is like, numinous, the interior presence of the transcendent or divine. Numen, that which is experienced as transcendent, presence itself as wholly other, not wholly with a H, with a W, the wholly other, having two distinct poles of feeling content. Yeah, all of those things. I just don't have like I don't have the fear. I don't have, like, I'm not scared. I'm not worried. I'm not terrified. I'm not frightened. I'm not worried. I'm not nervous in these experiences. But the experience of it is very, like, attention getting. And I can't help but notice it. Like, I can't unnotice it. I can't ignore it. Like, I could try to ignore it. And it's like, nah, that's not happening. And so I'm abruptly, directly confronted with that being, and it sees me and it knows me, or he, and also the communication, which doesn't have words, and this very obvious experience of it sort of taking its time and being patient with me. It could be horrible, it could be terrible, it could destroy me, it could do any number of bad things, but it's not. And the intent and motive is to show me something and wants me to observe it doing something, and it will repeat it until it's satisfied that I have absorbed the meaning or the demonstration of this. But then also, because I'm like connecting with it through the mind, I'm also having like a mind connection with this being. There's a lot of aspects of this being that remind me of David, like in an uncanny way. So there's that. I kind of wonder if maybe that has the meaning of the tattoo is connected to that. He's been trying to figure it out. And so we have the eye. So there's certain things symbolically that come up a lot with him. He also, like, there's some things when I ask, I get instant answers. And then other things when I ask, like, he'll make me, because he was an instructor at Yale, he'll force me to do my homework. And he'll also help me out. Like, he'll send me, like not just breadcrumbs, but, like, practically, like, signs going this way, that way, go here, go there. And I can read all of these. I'm very good at this. So this, I'm pretty sure, is the Ouroboros. And then there's this symbol here, which was the one thing that was really perplexing me. I kept thinking it maybe had something to do with the Greek letter psi, which is oftentimes used to refer to the mind or the psyche or the soul. And so then we also have, like, this sort of, like, the eye thing. This is a big theme that comes up. Another one that comes up is, like, cyborg kind of motifs, which is another famous tattoo he had. This was a really famous artist, Anil Gupta, I think, in New York. And there's a lot of different directions that I can go with this. The one is the squatting man, and then the other one is the Vajra. So, which I thought was an Indian, like, Hindu thing, but there are depictions in ancient Greece of Zeus also with these Vajras. So there's the Vajra. There's a lot of these. A lot of different variations of this. And then I think there's like the Greek ones. I don't know. Here we go. Vajra right there. He's got a Vajra. It gets more interesting because, so Paul Wallace, another one, he's a researcher, I really like his work. Even if I don't have his beliefs, I like his work. He's someone I can respect very much. I like him as a researcher. I like his methodology to researching. And he oftentimes takes on, because most Western people do, most white people do, they'll take on things that are, biblical, of course, because it's always biblical. It's not anything else. It's biblical. And we're going to use that as the base and the pivot and the framework of everything. When he does it, I don't mind it because I understand research, I understand academia, I understand his process. I very much respect his process, and I very much respect his stances and his beliefs because I respect him, this guy. And he will take it as though it's like the cargo culture theory and the ancient aliens theory, but not the kooky like for-profit TV branding crap. It's like serious. Like it's like his version, his take on it is like more sound and credible and not like a for-profit motive. I mean, he's making money, but that doesn't really seem to be his real motive. I like his I just appreciate I as a researcher, as an academic, someone who is very philosophical and someone who understands like the process and the credible directions of these things. He takes that and he applies the logic and the rational thought and the scrutiny to it. Now, he very much views it as like outer space aliens or ETs or whatever. I'm not so sure that I think it's from outer space, like whatever these weird things are. But there are some things that I thought that were different, interesting concepts. Like it's funny because David was against Bloomrich's stuff. He was like, that's nonsense. I looked into like Bloomrich stuff. He was like a NASA guy. He even has like patents and stuff for the lunar projects. What was it? Apollo missions or whatever. I thought Bloomrich's work was good. That's me. I thought his reasonings were sound. He was also not religious, even though he made very religious themed patents and designs or whatever. And I also thought that cargo culture is a very good, sound framework for a theory. I thought it's a good theory. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I don't think all quote unquote UFO, UAP, ET things are necessarily from outer space, though. I think it's phenomena probably from here, which David also mentions many times over, especially in this video here. And here's also like him. Like a Photoshop class that he did. It's really good. Here's another one. And then I think he was just the Macworld. That's David. Was it? I don't know why the Apple computer stuff. He was an Apple computer like guy. Is this it? Here we go. Macworld 2010. And that's David right there. That's David. That's my friend. So there you go. My favorite person ever. My favorite person ever. So, alright, I guess that's it for now.